How we got this land, most of it is land that my dad had bought. This particular land me and my wife bought. We have another 2 or 3 sections that my wife and I have bought since we were married, and we're talking almost 50 years. So that's how long it's been in our operation. We crop about 2,500 acres in annual crops. We have some hay land that's permanent. We have about 230 cows, mother cows, and a cow-calf operation.
So I started working with Dan Buerkle in 2005 on an EQIP contract when we were exploring how he could get into some no-till. He had done some no-till in the past, but hadn't really developed a diverse rotation.
When I actually started going to rotations, and like I say, I just can't emphasize how huge that was for us. The big thing is ground cover, and our problem is it's not so much keeping it as growing it. So here we're measuring the soil temperature where it's bare. It actually says 103 right there is what the ground temperature is. And over here, and that's uncovered. Where the ground is covered, but let's just see what happens. See, this says 97, but that's not the ground surface. .72.
The projects we've worked with on Dan all incorporate the same principles, the principles of soil health. Whether it's the grazing land or it's the crop land, it's still keeping the soil covered, diversifying. The same principles apply on all land units. And if you can develop those and practice those, the benefit is being more sustainable as a producer. Economically, it has to be more economically sustainable as well as sustainable for the land. So no-till diverse crop.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is basically kind of on the outskirts of it, more tillage on this. So we'll see.
Oh man, it's pretty incredible. I feel better now. I was holding my breath before. So obviously these are soils that are falling apart. When rainfall hits that's also the soil that packs and doesn't accept moisture. Let's take that piece out and put it here, and then I'll dump this out. I don't know if it'll stay there. Wow, that's pretty incredible. Which one do you think is going to hold more? Benefits that I see that are anecdotal: safflower ground. Generally, safflower is a warm season broadleaf that has a big, deep taproot. Because of the taproot, it pulls up nutrients that have leached below the traditional root zone of small grains, for example. And we have used that to great advantage. There might be a little yield drag the next year, but by and large, for whatever reason, and this is the anecdotal part, that seems like there's less weed pressure. Any broadleafs we grow, and that includes peas, fix some nitrogen. If they go all the way to podding and maturity, they don't fix as much nitrogen as they originally thought, but it does something. Even now in this terrible drought year, our best spring wheat crop is on ground that was peas last year.
An additional benefit to practicing regenerative agriculture is what it benefits to the ecosystem as a whole. We're looking at some sign of grouse up here. There's the bird populations increase, the hoofed animal populations increase, the insect populations increase. So it just all helps the system cycle as a whole.
The grazing part and the cropping work together because they have to. So the cattle not only utilize the grazing that's in there, they also graze the crop aftermath, and that's a big, big benefit. It not only benefits the cattle very obviously benefit the land. One of the practices we have been utilizing is bale grazing, and we don't use it 100% of the time. It's been great for us. When we're able to utilize it, it's such a huge labor savings, it's incredible. One day a week, we go out and put out bales for the week, and that's it. As far as what it does for the soil, the next year it may not look pretty because there's going to be some other growth there, but there's going to be lots of biomass there, and you can just see to the foot almost in subsequent years where that bale was. As far as working with NRCS, the biggest thing is getting over yourself. I mean, you have to have an open mind. If you're not open to some change open to doing some things different, if you go in with the attitude that, no, we can't do that for whatever reason, rain or whatever, instead try to think outside of the box, think about what you can do.